everybody else. Kicker, thanks for watching this edition of Monday Night Countdown, and we hope to see you every Sunday on Sunday Countdown, all right? We all done?
Good. Glad you were not a kicker.
This was
nice tie.
Festive tie.
Great tie, Boom.
You're learning. Will the Cowboys turn the Panthers into Texas toast? Let's go to the new Cowboys Stadium and Mike Tirico. Michael, all yours.
Thank you, Chris. Roof is closed. First indoor game here in Arlington. The Cowboys and the Panthers on Monday Night Football. Last week's disappointing grand opening for Dallas has placed even more pressure on the boys tonight. Carolina, division champion in 2008, must pull off the road upset or face the prospect of opening the season 0-3. We welcome you to ESPN's Monday Night Football launch, engineered by the GMC Sierra. Over $1 billion to build and worthy of every praising word that has been spoken and written. Second regular season game of the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Home team ready for that unique entry to the field. They hope to find their first win out here tonight. It's all bigger in Big D and in Arlington, where the stadium is as well, including the entry to the field. We say hello and welcome to the wrap-up of Week 3 of the 2009 NFL season. The building's 3 million square feet. The scoreboard's 60 yards long. You heard all that stuff. The reality is the field is like all the other NFL stadiums. It's 100 yards long. And on that field, the grand opening party was ruined because Dallas's pass defense wasn't very good. Tony Romo threw 3 interceptions to the Giants. Here come the Carolina Panthers, 0-2, similar woes as the Cowboys. Consider their quarterback, a good quarterback's had a bad game. Their defense is not playing up to par, and their coach sitting on a little bit of a hot seat, even though we're only in early September. Here's Ron Jaworski and John Gruden to take us through now. And John, I want to start with you because you understand it is early in the season, but the guys feel the heat a little bit. Set the tone for both teams.
Well, the Cowboys have a lot of talented players. It's just important that they get some momentum going. And the only way you get momentum is by winning games. And I really think tonight is an opportunity for them to unleash all this talent right underneath that 15-story jumbo machine behind me. They need to get it done tonight. And for
we've seen the greats carve their names in stone. The Cowboys are ready to rock and roll, but the Panthers defense can take a toll. The NFL's best shine under these lights. The big cats roar into Big D tonight. Ready? Come on and get ready. I mean, really ready. Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party where primetime pigskin officially started. Get those helmets crashing, the crowd is sight. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night.
We're ready.
And the big video screen hangs under the closed roof of Dallas Cowboys Stadium here in Arlington, which is right between Dallas and Fort Worth, as we are set to go with the Cowboys and the Panthers. Well, for John Fox and the Carolina Panthers, as John Gruden alluded to, it's time. They are 0-2. The Saints are out to a 3-0 start, looking strong this season under Sean Payton. Don't want to fall 3 lengths back. 3/16 of the race. As for Wade Phillips on the other side of the Cowboys, we saw the Eagles win easily yesterday. The Giants dominate the Buccaneers, so Dallas needs to get a win here to stay within a game with the leaders in the NFC East. Toss won by the Cowboys, and they will receive the kickoff of Reese Roy, the kickoff specialist. We don't have 105,000 in here like we did last week, as Miles Austin is set to return. They didn't sell as many party passes. We got that small crowd of in the 90,000 range, I would say, tonight. Off we go from Arlington. And Austin lets it go through his hands. No return. So the Dallas Cowboys will start from their own 20. And here comes Tony Romo. Talked about Tony in weeks 1 and 2, but the bigger picture. He's won essentially 2/3 of his starts. No undrafted quarterback in NFL history has had that kind of production. What are the things early to watch for, John, with Romo here tonight?
Well, I think very important. They're going to try to run the football at the Panthers' inexperienced defensive tackles. They're going to try and establish that. But Romo's going to make some high percentage throws early, get Jason Witten the football, go from there.
No Marion Barber. Felix Jones, the deep back. Opening drive starts at the 20. First play, a Romo pass to Jones. Felix Jones, a big 20-yard opening first down. John Beeson took him to the sideline.
Good way to warm your quarterback up is to throw the screen pass. Romo sets up nicely in the pocket, eyes downfield, then comes off to Felix Jones. Plays a game with the linebackers and defensive line. Tell you, with Tony Romo, you want to get him into a rhythm early. He has a tendency to play fast early. You calm him down, he usually has a very strong game.
Romo, they always do that in a first drive, it seems. Show a little pass look and go to a handoff. Jones gains 4. Quentin Teal took him down. So it's going to be Jones and Tashard Choice out of Georgia Tech carrying the running load with Barber out. Roy Williams and Patrick Creighton, a receiving core that hasn't stepped up. Jason Witten, the tight end. And up front, 50-plus starts for all of those guys. Adams, Kozer, Gerard, Davis, and Colombo. Cowboys go no huddle here after the gain of 4. And they go empty with no backs and 5 receivers. And Romo completes it to his most reliable target. Jason Witten takes it into Panther territory, first down.
Well, it's obvious what Jason Garrett's trying to do. He starts with a conventional 2-back attack. They get right to their 2 tight ends. And here's a 4-wide receiver look. And Witten just pushes right up the middle of the field and hooks right inside of John Beeson. Good timing, high percentage pass.
Deion Anderson, the fullback, blocking for Jones, who made a great move to the outside. Every time this guy touches the ball, Jaws, it's electricity. Feels like there's 10 or 12 yards just waiting to happen.
He is a very explosive running back, but left guard Kyle Kozer does a real nice job of coming around. You'll see him, number 63. Excellent job of sealing the inside. And Charles Godfrey almost broke an ankle on the move from Felix Jones.
Felix Jones.
Oh, my gosh.
8.5 yards a carry this guy averages, and you can see why. What elusiveness.
Jones has touched it 3 times, 42 yards. Play action, Romo looking downfield, and miscommunication and almost an interception. Chris Gamble was over there. Tyler Brayton put the heat on the quarterback. But check this Carolina defense, led up front by Julius Peppers. 14.5 sacks last year. They're weak at the D tackle position. Lost a couple of key guys there. James Anderson starts for Niall Diggs, out with an injury. Beeson, a Pro Bowler. Thomas Davis having a good year. Gamble and Godfrey at the corners. Quentin Teal gets a start at safety for Chris Harris, who misses his 3rd straight game with a knee injury. So they've lost 2 D tackles, including Leonard last week. Diggs and Harris, the safety. Tashard Choice is now the back. Romo fakes to him, hits Witten. Good open field play by Gamble. We have 3rd and 10 coming up. The Carolina Panther defense, John, this is a little bit different defense than the one you went up against twice a year the last 6 or 7.
Well, it's a lot different. It starts with defensive coordinator Ron Meeks as he's applied this 4-3 system. The problem with the Panthers is they have a lot of key injuries. John Beeson, their middle linebackers, missed a month of training camp. He's just getting acclimated. Chris Harris, their strong safety and signal caller, hadn't played yet. They are inexperienced and they're suffering through some tough injuries.
5 defensive backs. The 5th is a rookie, Captain Munnerlyn. 3rd and 10. Panthers bring pressure, moving Romo out of the pocket. And he throws complete to Roy Williams. The former Detroit Lion, first down at the 14.
That play was all Tony Romo, extending the play. There was pressure to his right side. He moved from the pocket, but the best part of Romo's game was he reset his feet. Here's the pressure. Now reset your feet so you can throw the football accurately. Back shoulder throw to Roy Williams. Well done. But Romo made that play with his ability to get outside the pocket and maintain his downfield vision.
First down, right back to Felix. Jones stopped by Beeson, only a gain of about 1.5 yards. And there's a guy who needs to pick up his play, and he told us as much when we visited with the all-pro middle linebacker of 2008.
Well, that helped them right there. They jumped into an 8-man front. You saw the strong safety Godfrey come down, and John Beeson, let's not kid ourselves. This is one of the most instinctive, explosive hitters in the league, and they need him to make a double-digit tackle night tonight.
John Phillips, the 3rd tight end in motion. Romo in trouble and brought down. The pressure from Thomas Davis, the weak side linebacker, who is the one Panther defender who has thrived in these first 2 games.
Well, this is a design trick-em screen. Let's take a look at the tight end over here. We're going to fall down, and Romo's going to fake the power play to the right, and we're going to try to sneak the tight end across the formation. Bennett got hung up. It was a one-man route, nowhere to go, and that is a huge play by Thomas Davis, forcing a 3rd down and 17 here.
3rd receiver, bottom of the screen, Miles Austin. Witten moved, 5 in the pattern for Romo. Tried to check down with Tashard Choice, incomplete. And about a 40-yard field goal attempt coming up.
And that's a big victory for the Carolina Panthers. They have really struggled in the red zone. They've given up way too many touchdowns. Even though they didn't get off the field quickly, this is a huge moral victory for the Panther defense.
John, but I like what you said about the first down running play. They loaded up the box. They got out of their conventional, 2 deep zone type coverage, and they got after the running game, and they won their gaps and got a negative play and forced this field goal.
Nick Folk, 3rd-year kicker out of Arizona from 40 yards, missed it right. No good. He had made 16 in a row, and the Panthers dodged the opening bullet. Their ball, no score, 5+ in.
Official HD TV of the NFL. Bud Light, with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. And Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
That's one of my favorite features of the new place. Some great pictures inside the elevators, including Roger Staubach, and there he is in the flesh. The great Cowboy quarterback throughout the decade of the 70s. Helped set the standard here. The stadium might be new. There are a lot of familiar things you've seen around Cowboy games for many years. So after that long streak of consecutive made field goals, Folk misses one. The Panthers get it at the 30, and Delhomme hits Steve Smith, who always runs hard. Gain of 9. And did you tell us about that right at the beginning of the game?
That's huge right there. You got to get this guy involved in a football game. Nothing better than the first play of the game. High percentage throw for Jake. Get a completion. Get our best player of the football. This is a 9-yard gain. It doesn't look like much, but keep an eye on Musa Muhammad, number 87. He's one of the best blocking wideouts in the game.
I love the motion with Steve Smith to loosen the coverage.
2nd and 1 for Jake Delhomme. We'll give it to D'Angelo Williams, a first down to the 44-yard line as he runs to the left. Jake Delhomme, of course, guys, had 5 years in New Orleans, mostly on the bench. He was backing up Aaron Brooks back some 6-7 years ago, then came to Carolina, and he has turned in a strong performance, 50-33, 3rd most wins by an undrafted quarterback. So we have 2 guys tonight in Romo and Delhomme, undrafted, who have thrived, taken their team to the postseason, and in Delhomme's case, took his franchise to the Super Bowl where they lost to the Patriots.
And they have impressive winning records.
First down throw is caught by Smith, who dropped it, collected it, and got 2 yards in front of Terence Newman. Here are the guys around Jake Delhomme on Carolina's offense, the two-headed monster of Williams and Jonathan Stewart. See if Stewart can turn it loose in a game. Smith is with Muhsin Muhammad, the all-time Panther leading receiver, and tight end Jeff King. As for the guys up front, 2 good tackles anchored. Gross on the left and Jeff Ota on the right. He was their first-round pick last year. Williams to the bench, and the other running back, Jonathan Stewart, is in the lineup. Delhomme completes it to Muhammad. Muhsin Muhammad gets a first down. In front of Terence Newman and in Cowboy territory at the 45.
Well, you're going to see a blitz right here, Jaws, coming off the tight end side. And the Panthers have the right play called, a naked bootleg. There's Muhsin Muhammad on the backside. Watch him lower his left shoulder pad and come alive on the sideline. That's good physical football.
The Cowboys had trouble tackling last week, and it continues.
Movement on that right side. There's been Ota.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Remains. First down.
The voice of Tony Correnti, our referee. Here's Dallas's defense. They play a 3-4. Watch Jay Ratliff a few snaps tonight. That nose around Spears and Olshansky. Very good. DeMarcus Ware led the NFL last year. 20 sacks, but the whole team doesn't have a sack this year or a turnover. Newman and Hamlin on the corners. Jenkins and Sensabaugh the safeties, and important here on the back end, Jenkins the other corner. Wade Phillips is the defensive coordinator now. He calls the signals for this defense and called the right number there as Ware and Keith Brooking had a meeting at Stewart. Big loss on the play.
DeMarcus Ware must come up big tonight. There he cuts back to the inside on the stunt. Beautifully designed stunt by Wade Phillips. Frees DeMarcus Ware to make the tackle in the backfield.
And this is not where Carolina wanted to be. Behind in the down and distance. This is a premier down to rush for DeMarcus Ware.
Delhomme's pass incomplete for the fullback, Tony Fiametta, who was covered by Anthony Spencer. Fiametta starts for Brad Hoover, the fullback who's out tonight. Guys, when we had the chance to visit with DeMarcus Ware, we talked about the 20 sacks. Well, he was a guy who expressed best the frustration of this. No sacks, no takeaways in 2 games for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's furious with himself, and he knows he's got to get it right and get it going tonight. He is the undisputed tempo setter of this defense.
There's a sack turnover down and distance. 3rd and 19. Something simple. Steve Smith on the edge. Past Newman, got a bunch of yards back, but not enough for the first down. Out at the 40-yard line, 41-yard line.
Well, this is going to be a game of field position. And take a look at Steve Smith. Here's Newman 9 yards off of him. Jake Delhomme just plays fireball right to the outside. And Terence Newman is having a hard time tackling Steve Smith right now. And that's a matchup that Carolina is going to keep an eye on tonight.
Well, that big video screen has been in the news in part because of its height, and can punters hit it? From what I saw in pregame warm-ups, Jason Baker's not going to threaten it tonight. It's 90 feet high. If you do hit it, it's a do-over. Baker well short of it, as it's fair caught at the 5-yard line by Patrick Creighton. To be fair, that wasn't the kind of kick that would threaten the board from midfield. Tony Romo, good drive, no points. We'll see what he does when the Cowboys take the field after this. 6 minutes left of the opening quarter. The Cowboys beat Tampa Bay week 1, losing in week 2 here in the opener in this stadium to the Giants. The Carolinas' 2 losses, a blowout loss by Philadelphia, 38-10, and then at Atlanta, an 8-point loss 8 days ago. Drive start at the 7 for Romo. To Jason Witten. Works his way around 4 Carolina defenders. He gets the first down before Nick Hayden tackles him.
The Dallas Cowboys have become a two tight end oriented football team, and they can split out Jason Witten. You'll see him split out wide to the right. He's matched against Chris Gamble, a corner. He beats the corner, turns it back up inside, and actually had some help there for Charles Godfrey. But when you watch Jason Witten, Martellus Bennett, they can run wide receiver type routes. Very versatile tight ends.
Got to tackle better than that.
How about those four guys watching him? I mean, here, sir, your seat's this way if you don't mind. Wow. It'd be a long night if they tackle like that. From the 18, Jones burst into the secondary, and he's tripped up by Quentin Teal, or else he may be down in that blue end zone over there.
Yeah, that'll be a big night if they get blocked like that as well.
I'll tell you, the Dallas Cowboys, take a look at the left guard, Kyle Kozier, right here on a draw set. He takes Damian Lewis and knocks him off the ball. These draws the Dallas Cowboys run, where the linemen show pass and then come alive physically, really gives Felix Jones some inside-outside looks, and he is hitting it right now.
And the third tight end, John Phillips, had an excellent block on John Beeson.
Romo pressured and goes down. It was Beeson coming at him, with Thomas Davis off the edge for the first down sack and a loss of 8.
We'll take a look at it. This is what they told us last night. John Fox, he said, we are gonna blitz. And the Panthers, they don't pull any punches right here. You'll see the blitz coming off the top of the screen right here, and it's just very well timed, and Dallas wasn't preparing for it. The Panthers lull you to sleep. They make you think they're rushing forward, they're playing zone, and they're coming alive with some blitzes tonight. They got Dallas that time.
Yeah, and in the first 2 games, they've only had 9 blitzes. They're showing a little more pressure defense tonight.
Second and 8. Draw inside out of the gun. Jones getting back most of the penalty yards to the 33. So Felix Jones shared time with Darren McFadden. Those are the guys who put their names in the wet concrete on the Wildcat at Arkansas. They were the ones who made it happen. But he's always been a tandem with McFadden at Arkansas, and here in his first 2 years with Marion Barber. Never had double-digit NFL carries. So let's watch him tonight, see if that explosiveness is still there when we get to the third and fourth quarter.
Mike, it took you almost 12 minutes to mention the Wildcat.
We used up our quota last week, you know. Third and 10. Romo got hit as he tried to throw it, and it's incomplete. The pressure came from Charles Johnson, third-round pick of a couple of years ago for the Panthers.
You know, Charles Johnson is just a young kid. He's only 22 years old out of Georgia, but he beat Colombo and just got a piece of Romo's right arm. They clearly went to work on Peppers with a double there, and Charles Johnson got it done. That's big for Carolina. They got a chance to get some field position here.
Matt McBriar to punt. You know, I don't think he's ever going to hit the scoreboard, be my guess. I think that would be called job security. Captain Munnerlyn fields at the 15. Only a return of 2, well covered by the Cowboys and Sam Hurd. 52 yards on the kick by McBriar. Long field for Carolina, this scoreless opening quarter. All things Dallas sports, the Cowboys, the Stars, the Mavs, and the college area sports. Your Dallas web destination for scores and breaking news, ESPNDallas.com. Joining Chicago and Boston, great sports fans in those great cities, got you all covered. Panthers take over at their own 17. And Delhomme finds his tight end, Jeff King, a dozen first down yards on King's 4th catch of the year.
Well, they wanted to get Jeff King involved. Just a simple play-action pass. Take a look at the right guard blocking down. You'll see the right guard blocked down, and the inside linebacker is going to step up, and they throw the ball to Jeff King, number 47, right in behind. A nice play-action pass on first down.
Second drive for the Panthers. They had 2 first downs first time around. D'Angelo Williams, and we mentioned keep an eye on Jay Ratliff. It seems like once or twice a quarter he is disrupting back in that backfield.
Well, we say it all the time. You want to stop the running game, you better get penetration. Jay Ratliff, number 9, is, as you see Keith Brooking try to get in the A-gap. But look at the slant by Ratliff to the right of the center. He's in the backfield. Easy play for Ratliff, brings down Williams. Just throws him down to the ground.
That's the second time I've seen Keith Brooking blitz tonight. That's not something they've done a lot of in the first couple games. But look for number 51 Brooking as a blitzer here as this game unfolds.
No sacks, no turnovers in 2 games. Try to light them up a little, huh? After the loss of 3, right back to D'Angelo. And Williams takes it out to the 33-yard line. Williams, as John mentioned earlier, 1,515 yards last year. He broke Stephen Davis's record for Carolina running backs, yards in the season, and over 1 touchdown a game as well.
I'll tell you what I like about him, guys, is he does not fumble the ball. Now, uncharacteristically, he did fumble last week, but he fumbled the ball fewer than any other running back in all of football last year.
Dallas disguising their pressure on 3rd down. Delhomme will get hit by Ware as he throws incomplete.
You don't always need to get a sack, but you certainly need to get pressure. You'll see DeMarcus Ware, number 94, coming off the edge. Leaps the cut block and has a clean shot at Jake Delhomme. Another split second, DeMarcus Ware would have had his first sack of the season.
Dante Rosario, the tight end on DeMarcus Ware, won't work very often.
No.
Punt number 2 for Baker. Big kick. One of his best of the season, 56 yards. But Creighton trying to get some opening, and Patrick brought down at the 20-yard line. 54 on the kick. The return was 8, and let's check the flag. See where Romo and company will take over. The flag's thrown back toward the return area.
During the return of the kick, holding receiving team number 27. 10-yard penalty, first down.
The flag on Marvin White will send us to break. The roof closed here in Arlington tonight. Starting from their own 11, their run with Tashard Choice gains a couple of yards to the 13 to bring the first quarter to an end. I think it's a lot of the question that we'll talk about here when the Cowboys continue in the second. Who are those step-up guys? Who are going to hit the home run shots for the Cowboys and score the touchdowns? Wade Phillips' team put some points on the board the first couple of games this year. 65 points in all against the Buccaneers and the Giants. Nothing in this first quarter after one in Texas. No score on Monday Night Football. Forsky, Michelle Tafoya on the field tonight. Cowboys pick up 2nd and 8. And Romo once again to Jason Witten, this time a yard shy of the first down after his 4th catch, and the extra hitting going to cost the Panthers 15.
Well, every quarterback loves to have that go-to receiver, and for Tony Romo, it's Jason Witten. He knows where he's going to be. He runs very defined routes, gives him a good indicator. You get Jason Witten matched up. Here you see him in that spot right there. Clean release. You get him matched up on the safety, pushes down the field.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 30, unnecessary threw the player to the ground. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You know, that's what Coach John Fox was talking about last night. He said, we got to come in here and play close to a perfect game. We're missing some key guys, but that's a foul right there that just kills you. You got a 3rd down and 3 or 4. You have Dallas backed up. You have to stop on the whistle. And that's an inexcusable play, really, in that situation.
From the 35, a run with Tashard Choice. You're only going to gain a couple of yards. Guys, we were talking at the end of the first quarter about Who's going to finish off plays? Who's going to score touchdowns? We know the issues that Terrell Owens brought. He also did bring 34 touchdowns. Do you guys see a wide receiver who can step up into that touchdown void without T.O.?
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is a good receiving core, but it's kind of a receiving core by committee. You're going to need help from Roy Williams, Patrick Creighton, Miles Austin, Sam Hurd. You're going to need a big contribution from a number of receivers. You can't replace the production that T.O. gave them the last 3 years with one player.
Second and 8. Romo stepping up, taking off. Ooh, dangerous how he fell there. He gains only 3 yards shy of the first down. Boy, he was at an awkward angle as he came down and pointing down to the ground saying he was down before the ball came out. Ooh, that did not feel good to Tony.
Absolutely right. I remember plays like this with big bodies falling on top of you when you're pounded into the turf here. It's not necessarily the hit that means anything. It's that 300-pounder, Julius Peppers, falling on top of you, driving your shoulder into the ground. Those are the ones that you get the separated shoulders on.
That's where Julius Peppers makes a lot of plays, when he's in that blind pursuit. You can't see him, but you just got to know number 90 is coming, and he's bringing it tonight.
He fell on the left shoulder, and Peppers was going for the strip of the ball with the right. Got it right under that throwing arm. Romo, third down throw. Patrick Creighton, a first down. Into Panther territory, and pathetic Panther tackling takes him to the 39, first down.
That's about the 4th time tonight we've mentioned poor tackling by both teams, kind of a lost art in the NFL. But this was a beautifully designed play by Jason Garrett. They fake the run to the left. Romo boots out to the right. Patrick Creighton all alone in the flat. The Panthers loaded the box to stop the run, got to the perimeter.
Richard Marshall and Chris Gamble miss on the tackle. The gain's 19. Julius Peppers getting a break for a second. Direct snap to Choice. Gets it to Jones with a marker down. Felix only gains a yard or so in a bunch of second quarter. Carolina has 5 first downs, and they've only run 17 plays of offense here tonight. Jake Delhomme starting from zone 10 with D'Angelo Williams. Igor Olshansky starts the tackling. He's a gain of about 3. Well, D'Angelo Williams really put a big number up last year. Averaged over 5.5 per carry, more than 15 touchdowns. Jim Brown did it in 1958. O.J. Simpson, 1975. And D'Angelo Williams last year. That's how rare it is. Over 5.5 a carry and more than 15 touchdowns. Tremendous 3rd season in the league last year for Williams. Delhomme throws complete. Tight end Dante Rosario. First down at the 21. And we'll hit the 2-minute warning.
Carolina likes to go with Dante Rosario as their receiving tight end. He has wide receiver skills. You can get favorable matchups by putting him outside.
We'll see if the 2-minute offense can get a little flow going offensively. Nothing else has worked tonight. Arizona at home with the many interceptions. Spent all offseason saying he was over it and past it, and guess what? You hit the first regular season game against Philadelphia, and you get another disaster in terms of Delhomme turning it over. Very interesting what he was telling us last night. He said the reality was, I was almost going through an out-of-body experience, something I never experienced before, because I just wasn't seeing the game. Even when he was pulled from the game, he wasn't seeing it.
But Mike, he was really excited. He saw John Gruden there because he's won 8 of 10 against John, so he was happy to see Coach Gruden.
First down for Delhomme. His pass is complete to Musa Muhammad. Anthony Spencer the tackle, gain of about 6, and Jake is looking over, said, we're going to go fast here? Yes, we are.
Hey, Jake Delhomme leads the league in grit. The guy was 7 for 27 with 4 picks against the Raiders last year. This guy comes back. He has great resolve. He's a winner. And this is where he's at his best in a 2-minute drill.
27, they come over to the near side. It's Dwayne Jarrett catches the ball for the first down. Yes, Dwayne Jarrett out of USC in his 3rd year makes the grab.
Hey, it's big that they get Dwayne Jarrett going. They brought him here in the 2nd round to get going. Steve Smith has been the go-to guy. If they can get another guy involved, Jaws, we've been talking about that all week.
No question. In fact, in studying the tape for this game, it was Ken Moore who was playing ahead of Dwayne Jarrett. So obviously they're getting back in good graces with Dwayne Jarrett. Made a big catch right there.
This is a formation they like to take a shot from. Look for a double move to Steve Smith.
From the 38, Jake looking Smith's way. Steve caught it at midfield, went down to the ground without possessing the ball. Incomplete pass. No-brainer call, Steve. Don't bother arguing.
I know, John, you like that Steve Smith when he lines up in tight to the formation. You get that jet stream route to him, back to the outside. Ball right on the money. Got to make the catch. Got to maintain possession through the catch. He does not.
It's a tough rule on these wideouts. You know, you do such a great job of snatching it, getting 2 feet in. We got a rule change, Jaws. You got to protect the ball when you get hit, too, and land.
You're kind of, hanging on the officials tonight.
I know.
You're getting a little chummy with them.
No, he acknowledged a nice call before it.
I know it. Yeah.
Play clock running down. Second down with pressure to Muhammad. Out of the Mike Jenkins tackle. First down. Out of bounds. Stop the clock. Inability to make the play by the first-round draft pick of last year.
Mike, you said it a couple times. Out of the tackle. We've heard that a lot tonight from the Dallas Cowboys secondary. You see Musa Muhammad's return to the outside. Mike Jenkins has to make that play to force a third down. Does not make the tackle. First down, Carolina.
But that's why Muhammad is still playing. That guy can break tackles. Stand next to him on the sidelines and look at him. He's a lot bigger than you think.
First down, Dallas brings 6, picked up, and downfield, Carolina takes it to the 25 with Dante Rosario.
Dante Rosario is the receiving tight end for the Panthers. Does a terrific job getting down the seam.
Carolina timeout. Best look they've had all night in this 2-minute drill.
What a drive by the Carolina Panthers.
You nailed it. Jake Delhomme in the 2-minute drill. He just loosened up. Played loose, played free, and made some outstanding throws and found maybe a new go-to guy, Dante Rosario.
Jake was 6 of 7 on that drive for 87 yards in the touchdown. John Kasay on for the extra point.
Delhomme making throws knowing he doesn't have access to the results. They're tough throws, and he's squeezing them in.
7-0 Carolina.
See Delhomme right here. He sees Kenny Hamlin, a single high safety, pumps to his left, gets Hamlin moving away from Rosario, and sticks it in right behind Mike Jenkins. But the manipulation by Jake Delhomme in the 2-minute drill, looking people off, pumping people, opening up the receivers. What a catch by Rosario.
I'll tell you what I like. You know, the Carolina Panthers, they got a lot of really good players. Jordan Gross, the left tackle, did an outstanding job right here. Watch the left tackle, number 69, against DeMarcus Ware. That's an outstanding job. Watch him anchor down and give Delhomme time to set his feet and push it down the field. The Panthers are talented, and if they start feeling it and getting some good vibes going, this team in dark is dangerous, I'm telling you.
Well, they're feeling it right now. You know Jake Delhomme, when he gets it rolling, he gets hot, he could be as good as any quarterback in this league. When I spoke to him yesterday, him and I walked out of our meeting room, and he said he's going to play loose and free, and he looks that way tonight.
90-yard drive for the game's first points. Kick return by Miles Austin. And Dallas will work from its own 26 inside of a minute.
You know, right before the timeout, they make a big play here. And you'll see Hamlin right here, the safety, back here in the middle of the field. Watch Jake Delhomme. He's going to drop back the pass. He's going to look at Hamlin. Hamlin doesn't get off the hash mark. He's late. Ken Hamlin's got to read the quarterback, pull the trigger, and get over the top and be a factor there, Josh.
Yeah, on that play, actually, Jake kind of was staring down on Rosario. And really, I agree with you. Hamlin should have been reading his eyes and driving the football.
58 seconds left. Tashard Choice, the back next to Romo. Tony comes back to his left and finds Witten down the seam at the 48. Big half for Witten, 8 catches.
Well, I don't want to sound redundant, but he is the go-to guy for Tony Romo. When he needs a play, he's looking at Jason Witten. The seams seem to be open against both these defenses tonight.
Taking a lot of time here.
Romo throwing to Choice. Getting to the sideline. Tashard Choice, again, another poor tackle. Got out of the arm tackle of Davis and prevents Dallas from having to use the timeout.
Yeah, they have 3 left, 26 seconds. Probably wasted a little bit of time there, Coach, getting set up with 3 timeouts. 2 timeouts.
2 timeouts.
Trying to figure out the scoreboard.
I know.
It's so big, I can't figure it out.
No, the big scoreboard's 60 yards, and you got everything but an easy-to-read scoreboard with the timeouts in it.
It's not about us, I guess.
See if Carolina can put pressure on Romo. Tony throws, and miscommunication with Choice as Davis was covering him. 3rd and 7 now.
You know, just to go back and talk about this Cowboy offense, we talked about the receivers earlier. The lack of T.O. Can somebody else step up? I see Witten with 8 catches for 75 yards. That's all great. There are other wide receivers. I think Creighton has 1 catch and Roy Williams has 1 catch. They got to get another receiver going.
Miles Austin and Patrick Creighton closest to you, with Roy Williams up at the top. Romo taking the shot toward Williams. Captain Munnerlyn, the rookie out of South Carolina, picked 216 in the draft, was with him every step of the way.
Well, this is a 7th round draft choice. They've talked about him. Captain Munnerlyn out of South Carolina. You get Roy Williams on Monday Night Football. Roy throws his hands up. Good recovery by Captain Munnerlyn. There's nowhere to go with the football. That's a huge series for the Carolina Panthers on defense.
In the wide receivers union, if you throw your hand up and a 7th round pick stays with you, don't you lose one opportunity to throw that hand up again and say I'm open? Munnerlyn gets out of the way of the punt, so there's no problems there. 5 seconds left for Carolina.
Let's take a look at Carolina on the last drive. It starts inside their own 20. Jake threw the ball to the outside, got Dwayne Jarrett involved. Here's Delhomme, another quick pass to the outside. Muhammad breaks another tackle, gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Great trajectory to Dante Rosario, and then you see Delhomme look off the safety and throw a bullet to Rosario. That's Louisiana Lightning right there. He's feeling it.
Louisiana 25th in population, but they've given us 3 NFL quarterback starters right now, born in the state. Eli, Peyton Manning, and Jake. And listen to the fans. Actually, what they're saying is Boomer.
Yo, hey, Boomer.
Carolina gets the ball to start the second half. They're up 7-0. Here's the Schwam with the Toyota halftime show.
Michael, that's a nice way to sway things a little bit for the home folks. Thank you very much. I'll remember your holiday time. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson, and just as we expected, a close Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
Not just
a little lower score.
Not quite like this, and we'll talk first half, second half in a little bit of a moment. The first Monday of the fall. Hope you're enjoying it. There have been many seasons when one of our favorite divisions, the NFC North, the old black and blue division, has been far from scintillating, certainly as a whole. But yesterday was one of those days. All 4 teams were winners, and it was how they won. All right, Green Bay won going away in St. Louis, but it was the others who authored victories in ways that'll long be remembered. In Minnesota, a legend was reborn, and in Detroit, yes, Detroit, maybe a franchise, was reborn. Here we go with our fastest 3 minutes. And would this be the day? 19 straight losses, Jim Schwartz and the Lions. Could they beat the Redskins early on? Goal line stand. Stacks up Clinton Portis. Yes, we can. Matthew Stafford. Yes, he can to Brian Johnson. But Jim Schwartz nervous. It's 1914, certainly. Uh-oh, the Redskins are going to send the Stanford band on the field. Grandilo, what? Liddell Dickey Betts, the guitar riff runs out. The Lions have won. The Ford family can cheer and hug. And we can remake Model Ts. They're back on the road. The Edsels are being sold. Cash for clunkers. It's all going to work. Brett Favre has a Viking. To Sidney Rice early against the Niners. But the Niners had other ideas. Block. Oh, McDonald blocked the kick. And Nate Clements picks it up. Niners lead at the half. Brett Favre, how much did he want to win? Bang! 40 yards downfield to block Patrick Willis. And with 12 seconds to go from the 32, zing! Greg Lewis makes the catch. How did he get the feet in? He did. And the man that got the worst view in the house saw it clearly. Brett Favre and the Vikings win 27-24. Reminder of, well, back in 92, his first big action, Kittrick Taylor. Final seconds. Look at young Brett. He did it in the Pack in 92. He's doing it with the Vikings in 09. Cincinnati had a surprise for Pittsburgh. Jonathan Joseph, pick six of Big Ben. And with 18 seconds left, Carson Palmer, Andre Caldwell, first time since 01, the Bengals beat Pittsburgh in Cincy. Mark Sanchez, 14-yard run. The Jets are going to be 3-0 against the Tennessee Titans, who look like the Houston Oilers. Well, defense, David Harris is sacked, 24-17 Jets. Pierre Thomas, they do it on the ground. The Saints run away from the Bills late, 27-7, they're 3-0. Peyton Manning, 4 TD passes. Reggie Wayne, Colts roll in Arizona by 21 points. Bill Belichick up 6, third quarter, own 24, 4th and 1, goes for it. They do. Patriots beat Atlanta. Nice unis. Saskatchewan plugged in neon for Seattle from the 80s. Reminder of the bad-looking retro Eagles unis and the shorts of the White Sox and the brown Padre uniforms and then the Darth Vader Vancouver Canuck uniforms. But the green reminded me of my Hartford Whalers. The green unis were going to work, but in the end, it was Devin Hester on the slant, and with 2 minutes to go, the Bears beat the Lime Ricky Seahawks 25-19. But the Lions, it's the Lions' day. And no more will we have to compare them with the Bucco Bruce and those 76 and 77 Tampa Bay Buccaneers of John McKay, who said, how was the team's execution? I'm in favor of it. After one of the games when they started by losing their first 26, it's over. Here come the Model Ts. Let's do something we've never done here, Tom. A game ball to...
Well, we've given him more than a few. He earned another one yesterday. Brett Favre, last-minute heroics, avoids, knows he's going to get hit. Great ball thrown to the back of the end zone. Great catch by the wide receiver. Brett Favre earns another game ball.
Kevin Cobb may not start again for Philadelphia, but he did something yesterday that no other quarterback has done. Throw for 300 yards in his first 2 starts in the NFL. Pretty darn good. Still ahead, we'll read and react to the Colts and the Patriots. We got plenty.
Well, nobody's really looked invincible to this point as we get set for the third quarter. Panthers get the ball. They lead 7-0. As we were sitting back during halftime, just going over the first half, which really had no place to hold on to what happened. That headline is Dallas Cowboys, Ron, have been very uninspiring in the first half.
Football's a game of emotion, a game of passion. They're supposed to inspire the fans. You got 100,000 people sitting on their hands. They're flat. They're listless. Where's the leadership on the football team? I haven't seen it for 30 minutes in that first half.
This is $1 billion stadium. What do you need to get excited about? You don't want to lose back-to-back NFC games. I guarantee you don't want to lose back-to-back NFC games at home this early in the season. They got to pick it up. They're too good a football team.
Well, if you're Wade Phillips, what do you say at halftime? I'm going to call you coach now. What do you do?
I don't know if I can speak. I can't say that on TV. That's a great question. All right, I'm not real happy right now. After a tough loss, our 2-minute defense let us down at the end of the half. It let us down at the end of the Giant game. Let's come out here and really get something going.
David Beeler is a rookie out of USC. He was drafted in the 5th round because of this. Touchbacks. That's his 5th in 14 kickoffs this year. Jake Delhomme takes over at the 20, Coach.
Well, here's Jake Delhomme at the end of the first half. Does an excellent job. Watch the free safety, Ken Hamlin. Delhomme looks him off. He makes an outstanding throw up and down over the linebacker to Dante Rosario. Now watch the free safety this time. Delhomme is going to pump him, and Hamlin's going to vacate the middle of the field. And once again, a reset by Jake, and he makes a magnificent throw. Again to Dante Rosario. Great exclamation point to the end of the first half.
Panthers start the half from their own 20. D'Angelo Williams right. 5 to the 25. Michelle Tafoya.
Well, guys, to that point, John Fox told me at halftime that he attributes a lot of their offensive success to the fact that they're using more two tight end sets. He also complimented Jake Delhomme on his ability to use his eyes and look off the safeties. He said, we're just executing better on offense than we have the first two games, guys.
We saw that a little bit better in the last game that they played, Michelle, when they were an 8-point loser to Atlanta down in Georgia. And especially in that last 2-minute drill, when Delhomme was sharp, only one incompletion. Williams again, trying to bounce it to the right. Igor Olshansky was waiting, just a couple of yards. Well, a third down coming up. Neither team's had very good field position. The game's only had one turnover, and that was an interception by Dallas deep in their own territory. And you look at the time possession, Cowboys had more opportunities. To be frank, there was one good drive by each team. Dallas to start the game, and they missed a field goal. And Carolina to end the half with a touchdown.
Once again, two tight ends in the slot. Rosario and King presenting a 4-wide receiver look, trying to create matchups.
3rd and 3. Delhomme throws through the hands of Rosario, covered by Keith Brooking. 3 and out to start the half for the Dallas defense.
That's what the Dallas Cowboy defense needed. They needed that 3 and out, and they got it. The quick drop by Jake Delhomme, looking for Rosario, who's been his go-to guy. Could not hold on to the football. Good coverage by Keith Brooking.
Knocked it away. The game's first 3 and out. Sets up another punt. And punting has been a problem. One block and a return for touchdown against Carolina this year. The scoreboard has not been threatened with a punt tonight. Creighton has room down the right side if he can get there. And the punter escorts him to the sideline. Baker sends him out of bounds at the 46.
You know what? If I'm Patrick Creighton and it's a punter that's at the sideline, I'm going to try to put my helmet in his sternum and knock him over, not run out of bounds.
Good field position for the Cowboys when you come back. Field level suites where people can watch the game, or many of them told me before the game when I stopped in, they'd look up at the big screen and watch the game tonight while sitting field side. First down, Romo. First throw to Roy Williams. Trying to extend it for the first down, almost 10 yards. Well, we mentioned that good first drive Dallas had. They came down the field, and Nick Folk missed a field goal. After that, picked up first downs, but punted the ball away. You see they've had poor field position. So those yards have not taken them deep to Carolina territory.
Well, they have good field position on this drive. Now they have to take advantage of it.
Both tight ends in the backfield and a penalty marker. Be a false start.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
You heard Tony Romo say they're yelling.
They're yelling. They're yelling the cadence, forcing the Cowboys to move. If that is the case, that'll be a penalty against the Carolina Panthers.
We were watching some game yesterday. That's a defensive delay of game and a 5-yard penalty.
For yelling? For yelling.
Oh, come on. Penalty for yelling.
If you yell the other team's cadence, a penalty, John.
2nd and 6. Remember, no Marion Barber because of injury tonight. Felix Jones hits the hole hard. All the way to the 10-yard line.
That's the guy you need to get going. He is explosive. You get him in space, he can put it in the end zone.
Back behind the play, Flozell Adams injured for the Cowboys. Julius Peppers couldn't get another hand on Felix. He goes down the sideline for 40. Cowboys will have it at the 10. We'll check on Flozell Adams after this timeout. First and goal after the 40-yard run by Jones. And they will run inside with Tashard Choice, who takes it to the 7-yard line. Back to that big run. And first the injury with Adams.
Let's take a look at Flozell Adams. He's going to be blocking over here against Julius Peppers. It's a zone blitz, and Flozell gets right up on the second level and chop blocks the linebacker. They have the right play called. You run a zone blitz the other way, and Julius Peppers gets caught dropping into coverage.
Roy Williams downfield, getting the block. You get big runs, explosive plays when your receivers are downfield blocking. Outstanding job by Roy.
Sorry, Jones. Adams missed the plays, back in. Choice is the running back. Romo to Choice. Beeson chasing. Choice dives. Is he in? They'll discuss it. Touchdown. And the Panthers will want to see this replay.
He's down. Down about the 1. Knee hit. Ball was about the 1. That'll come back.
If they choose to challenge, let's see. Here's the knee down short. Yep. And John Fox has just tossed the red challenge flag. So this will be reviewed upstairs. Funny, this big old 60-yard screen didn't show the replay. Which, by the way, I think is the most inequitable thing in football.
Carolina is challenging the ruling on the field of a touchdown.
The home team is in control of those situations, obviously, so that's not replayed up top. But they get the TV view. They saw this replay that we showed and they said, you know what? We'll challenge it. I don't think he's in. This is the replay being looked at upstairs and then in the booth by Tony Correnti, the referee.
After reviewing the play, the runner was down at the 1 1/2 yard line. It'll be first down. Carolina is not charged with a timeout.
You know, first down, I thought it would be third down. I thought it was first and goal going back 2 snaps ago, guys, wasn't it? The ball, in my recollection, was at the 10-yard line. Interesting. They've said first and goal here, and
it says 1 on the yard marker as well.
Yeah, correction, it will be third down.
There you go.
Third and goal at the 1.5.
Mike, you didn't miss anything.
Well,
but this is big, guys, because they don't have Marion Barber in this situation with a quad injury. Here's a guy who's had 15 one-yard touchdown runs.
they're in 4-down territory, that's for sure. But they're going to be in a shotgun formation here.
That's interesting in itself.
It's Jason Witten to Romo's left. Tashard Choice, the back, the only healthy back right now, to the right. Romo inside handoff. Choice stopped short of the goal line. Let's see what they'll do on 4th and goal.
There's no question the Panthers had some sort of tip. You heard the defensive lineman shifting. Right. They overloaded to the side, but the Cowboys did run the football.
Well, Tony Romo had 2 plays called in the huddle. You heard him saying kill, kill, kill. He's going to the second play, and Carolina changed their defense.
Just love the cat and mouse game. Panthers won that one. Can the Cowboys respond?
4th and goal. Oh, did they get movement? Did they get movement on the left side?
Wow.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's brutal. Wow.
Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty remains 4th down.
John Phillips, 6th-round draft pick, rookie out of Virginia, in there with their heavy package at the goal line. Just that right there. And they caught him.
A lot of communication by the Cowboys here in this situation. Sometimes that can come back and bite you. You know, those tight ends, they can't hear. You got a young guy, Phillips, 6th-rounder in the ball game.
Extra point-sized field goal, essentially, for Nick Folk. Good from 24. The Cowboys are on the board, and nobody rooting for the home team satisfied. 7-3, Carolina.
Cash for one LCD HD TV company and NFL.com. It's not too late to play free fantasy at NFL.com/fantasy.
You walk along the Party Plaza where they sell $29 tickets. Folks are waiting out there during the afternoon. I was over there when they opened the doors and let them in. They get to stand and watch the game. Folks get to stand out by the plaza, watch the TVs. That's how they were able to get over 100,000 for the opener. About 15, 17,000 less Party Plaza tickets sold for this one as they get to the best working number for a game day. Mike Goodson from the 3. Quick return to the 20, and that's where the Panthers will take over. Michelle, an update on Felix Jones.
Yeah, Mike, they were looking at his left knee. It turns out that it is a strained left knee, and he may or may not come back. I mean, he's still riding the bike here on the sideline. He may come back, but this is, again, with Marion Barber out. By the way, Marion Barber is apparently so upset about being out. He's not even down here, guys, not even in the stadium for all we know. Mike?
Okay, Michelle, thanks. Barber strained his left quad. He was hoping to go, kept out of the game. Tashard Choice, 23, who you just saw, is the only healthy running back. They have a fullback in Dion Anderson. Delhomme from the 20, pressured by Ratliff and brought down by the Pro Bowl nose tackle.
Well, he's the disruptive force that nobody wants to talk about. He was a Pro Bowler. This is a penetrating nose guard. He plays right over the center. Watch him loop to the outside. One-on-one with Vincent. What a great job. He's got some long arms. Watch him reach out there and make a great play.
Relentless pursuit. This is a big drive for Carolina. They had a 3-and-out their first series. Their defense looks like they're going to have to come back on the field again. The Cowboys are gaining momentum.
First sack of the season for the Cowboys. D'Angelo Williams, 2 yards. Igor Olshansky with the tackle. And this is the first pulse we've seen out of the Cowboys tonight.
Their first sack comes from the nose tackle. Kind of surprising when you think of guys like DeMarcus Ware and Anthony Spencer and Keith Rooking and Brady James. They're usually guys getting after the quarterback. And Jay Ratliff that gets the first sack of the season for the Cowboys.
Third down, dome closed. Noise a big factor here.
Crowd is finally into it.
Delhomme throws, caught by Smith, made one man miss. Single-handedly try to go through everybody. 3 yards shy of the first down. Carolina 3-and-out for the second time this quarter.
Well, that's a big play for Carolina. They get about a 14 or 15-yard gain. Simple play, throwing the ball outside to Steve Smith off of play action. Really gives them some room to punt the football, and it's been an area once again where Jason Baker has struggled. They've already had a punt blocked, and their coverage has been an issue.
Baker gets it away, doesn't kick it high at all. No threat to the big video board. Creighton made Munnerlyn miss, comes down the sideline, and he's bumped out at the 42-yard line. So good field position again for the Cowboys. 32 net on that punt. Dallas defense in this quarter. 2 3-and-outs, giving the offense a chance to try to light the match. Sliding glass doors and that Party Plaza area where the people mingle who bought those tickets. 90,588 on hand here tonight at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. 15,000 shy of the record they set on the Sunday night opener against the Giants. Romo first down. Throws complete to Roy Williams. Dropping it between the layers of the zone to the Carolina 36. First down.
That was a big-time throw by Tony Romo. There was a small window to squeeze that ball into Roy Williams. It took a firm touch to get this ball in there. This is Roy Williams running the route on Gamble, breaks it to the outside. The underneath coverage was right there, and Quentin Teal just went through his hands. Roy Williams makes the catch, but what touch by Tony Romo.
Tashard Choice is going to take a direct snap here at quarterback. Romo's up at the top of the screen. Felix Jones in motion. Choice up the middle to the second level. First down, gain of 10.
Happy birthday, Wildcat. John Gruden getting all excited again. The Wildcat for a big play for Dallas.
Well, everybody's got it. You know, the Dallas Cowboys do have enough backs and enough stuff to do this. It's just a simple, direct snap. They fake the ball to Felix, who's limping around the corner. I wonder if Felix is all right, guys. Nice job blocking up front by the Dallas Cowboys.
Leonard Davis did a heck of a job of coming around the horn and just opening up a gaping hole with Tashard Choice.
Choice is the back. Romo to Witten. Jason Witten, the most favored nation in Tony Romo land, with another catch.
Yeah, Tony Romo did a really good job. Charles Godfrey came on the blitz, had Jason Witten sitting down in the area where Godfrey came from, seal number 30. He comes on the blitz. You see the sight adjustment, well done. Witten reads the blitz. Tony Romo reads the blitz. You get a positive play, 6 yards. You beat the blitz.
Call that the hot receiver. Great job by Jason Witten getting that done.
In the red zone, the Cowboys try to reverse with Creighton. He's got a bunch of blockers on this side. Patrick Creighton, first and goal, Dallas at the 6.
Richard Marshall saved the touchdown. It looked like Creighton was going to cruise into the end zone. Marshall got off the block and make the tackle.
Well, take a look at Julius Peppers. He's going to close. They give the ball to Creighton on a reverse. And they got the Giants on a reverse last week with Creighton. But watch him. He sees the tackle blocked down. Julius doesn't know where the ball is until it's too late.
Loses contain. You get on the edge. Creighton with a lot of room.
14 on the reverse. First and goal, Dallas. Choice is the back. Romo. Choice. Dallas leads. Touchdown. Cowboys.
Well, they made that look easy. They get the first down completion to Roy Williams, and the Cowboys are in business with a very impressive drive.
They woke up here in the third quarter, John. Well-designed play by Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator. As you see Romo set back, he looks to his right. He fakes the pass, but it's that lead draw back inside to Choice and Deion Anderson with an excellent block, but they collapse the entire right side of that Carolina defense. Easy touchdown for Dallas.
Extra point added by Folk. How does your defense work in concert with your offense? 3 and out, short field, field goal. 3 and out, short field, touchdown. Choice in the house. Very low. On ESPN, regional coverage, or on ABC. Beg your pardon, regional coverage at 8 Eastern. The game not on your ABC stations, available on ESPN360.com on Saturday night. Texas A&M's playing Arkansas in this building as well this weekend. I'll be on ESPN2, as a matter of fact. Former Trojan Beeler with the kick, returned by the rookie running back Mike Goodson. Good initial hit at the 15 by Deion Anderson, the fullback. Long field again for the Panthers.
A well-executed drive by the Cowboys the last time they had the football. Look at the throw by Tony Romo to Roy Williams. Excellent touch. Then he reads a hot principle with the blitz coming from Carolina. It's Jason Witten. And all of a sudden you get a fast, slow defense flowing too fast. You come with the reverse. And you get the big play down to the 5-yard line. And a well-designed draw play by Jason Garrett and Hudson Houck, their offensive line coach.
Veteran, 27 years in the league, 11 years with Dallas. Hudson Houck. Deep drop, Delhomme. Throws to Jeff King, his tight end. Gain of 4 in front of Keith Brooking. They get 5. They'll be at the 21.
Yeah, it's important Carolina gets something going right here. They've been a little conservative here in the second half with bad field position. Once again, they're starting from their minus 15. But the Panthers come out throwing with some success. They've got to get something going here, Jaws.
They need to get the ball in Steve Smith's hands. He's the most explosive player on this team. They need a big play. They need to flip this field.
From the 21, Delhomme looking for Rosario, his tight end. Incomplete. Gerald Sensabaugh trailing him across the field. Brady James put on the pressure. Guys, after the last Carolina 3 and out, over at the sideline, Steve Smith, tremendous receiver, but certainly temperamental at times, was getting after his teammates, getting after everybody. trying to get either this offense inspired, or get him the ball a little bit more. You see him over there with Jake Delhomme. Jake was trying to call him in to go over the pictures, and Steve knows what he's seeing. He feels like he can get open.
Well, every receiver should feel that way, but he hasn't been getting open. It's that simple.
Delhomme, Muhammad downfield, made the catch, flag down, Muhammad not down. Muhammad's all the way to the end zone. We'll check the penalty. Well, the guy who threw the flag didn't signal touchdown. That usually means it's offensive pass interference. But we'll see as they run back. If it stands, it's a 79-yard score.
It's coming back.
Pass interference, offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
You know, Jake Delhomme likes this back shoulder throw. They wanted to go after Mike Jenkins, the youngster out of South Florida. But take a look at Delhomme. He's gonna put the ball up here, and you see Moose extend his arms. You can't do that.
Definitely the right call.
That's the kind of year it's been for Carolina. 79-yard explosive play, called back. He fumbled going in for a touchdown last week. That's why the Panthers are staring at a possible 0-3 start.
Fifth major penalty against the Panthers tonight. 3rd and 15. Delhomme gets rid of it. It's caught, but a yard and a half shy of the first down by Kenneth Moore. And it'll be 4th down, and one more time. It's a 3-and-out. All 3 possessions of this quarter.
Well, for the Panthers, their wounds now have been self-inflicted. The penalties, the field position. They've got a long way to dig out this hole right now. They're not playing good football. And certainly the Dallas Cowboys, now they're inspired.
27 and 17, the last 2 punt returns for Creighton. Baker's kick, short, bounces. Creighton has to let it go. Didn't even reach the return man. But it works out as a 49-yard kick and a little bit longer field for Dallas. Well, Tony Romo comes out and listening to our ESPN radio affiliate in Dallas and talking to some Cowboys fans today. Everybody wanted to know what was wrong with Tony Romo, and I almost had to remind myself, wasn't it just 2 weeks ago that he had the 3 touchdowns against Tampa?
Yeah, I get so mad too. I like that guy. I feel like he's a lightning rod. People talk about his personal life. He has a persona where maybe people think he's not really into it. This guy's a winner. It's only his 3rd year as a starting quarterback. And check his stats. He's been very successful. And think about the quarterbacks they've had prior to Romo. And I'm not talking about Aikman. I'm talking about some of those other guys. This guy's a player.
Number 26. Romo out of time, out of the pocket, throws it all the way back across the field, and it's caught by Choice to the 44-yard line. The guy who idolized Brett Favre when growing up made a Favrean play.
Well, as I say, no. I just said this guy's a player. He lives a little on the edge as a football player. But if you made a reel of Tony Romo's top 20 plays, you would be impressed. Take a look at him right here.
This one might make it. This one, as we say, play on, player.
Gets out of trouble.
Wow. A little reckless, but effective.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd be happy with your quarterback making that throw, John.
Exactly.
What? You would? Yeah, when you have access to the results, yeah.
After the gain of 19, Choice to the right. Tashard gains about 3.5 yards.
Yeah, what Romo brings you is the ability to extend the play. Here, it looks like Johnson's going to make the sack, but Tony ducks under it. Just an excellent job of avoiding the rush. And he gets on the perimeter, eyes downfield. That's what I love to see about a quarterback, looking downfield. I mean, this is a little bit dangerous, but it's effective.
He's a heck of an athlete. A lot of people don't realize what kind of an athlete this is.
He's 28 and 13 as a starter. That's an amazing record. You can find fault, but he wins football games.
2nd and 6. through the hands of Martellus Bennett, incomplete. I mentioned idolizing Favre growing up for Romo, attended Burlington High School in Wisconsin, and you were talking about his athletic prowess. Has tried to qualify for the U.S. Open golf tournament the last 5 years, and the Byron Nelson played over here in Irving, Texas, in Las Colinas.
Well, you know, I like this guy. He was broken in under Sean Payton. He was not drafted as a free agent out of college. He's paid his due. He's paying dividends for him. And this guy, I've seen him play basketball, golf. He's an outstanding athlete.
So third down now for Dallas, 3rd and 6. And movement by Adams.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
It's not really a Cowboy game unless you get one of those false starts on Flozell, is it?
Yeah, that's true. You know, John's throwing all those bouquets at Tony Romo, and I also think he's an outstanding player. But you got to remember, it's Dallas. They win football games. But with Jerry Jones, you have to win championships. That's what it's about. And Tony has not played well in December. He's not played well in big games. So until he does, he's always going to have that target on him.
Went quiet on me, John.
Timeout called by Carolina. Defensive confusion. You can see the frustration of John Beeson, their linebacker, coming off the field as that timeout was taken. And Jaws a little bit to that point. You know, so often what do people remember? They remember the last chapter of the book. And in the wild card season of his first year as a starter, the botched snap on the field goal in Seattle, the #1 seed with 13 wins, the loss at home to the Giants, and just the disastrous performance by the entire Cowboy team in a game they had to have against Philadelphia the last week of the season last year. And that's part of the build-up, and then the payoff has not been there with Romo.
I'll say this, last thing in his defense. That guy missed 3 games last year for the Cowboys, and I don't know if they won any of them. They might have beaten us 13-9, but they don't score without Tony Romo. And you can look at the history of the quarterback position here, guys. He took over for Drew Bledsoe. They've had Hutchinson. They've had Drew Henson. They've had a lot of guys in here. This is a young quarterback. He's getting better. Sure, he's got to take a little better care of the football and produce down the stretch. But he gives him a chance to be there and be a factor, and I like him.
Third and 11, eludes the rush again. First down in Panther territory at the 45 to Patrick Creighton. And Beeson is really frustrated. They had to call a timeout, and now don't stop them on 3rd and long.
Well, it looks like Tampa too, and you're going to see, Beeson get right down the middle of the field, and the 2 outside linebackers have got to give him help. He's mad at Richard Marshall, number 31. He has got to protect Beeson in that coverage. That Tampa 2 where he's down the pipe. That was costly.
And Romo again avoiding the rush, focusing downfield, able to hit Creighton for the first down.
Draw with Choice, gains about 3, and Felix Jones was injured on that prior drive. And we have seen him but for 1 snap since that injury. And a complete reversal here for the Cowboys, almost back to what they were doing last week, running the ball. Over 8 yards per carry the last 2 weeks. Only one team in the history of the league has done that. That's the Panthers back a decade ago. Back-to-back games over 8 yards per carry. Dallas in position to do that if they can keep it going through the 4th quarter. But not having the Felix Jones 10 or 12 a pop might hurt that cause. Romo stepped into the rush. Choice caught it. No, dropped it. Umpire rules incomplete. Damian Lewis put the pressure on Romo.
You know, you go back to the Dallas Cowboys and their offensive line coach, Hudson Houck. We don't talk about this guy enough. He's the guy that worked for the LaDainian Tomlinsons, the Eric Dickersons, a guy, by the way, named Emmitt Smith, who had 11 straight 1,000-yard years. They get this guy to come back to Dallas. He was here for the glory years. This is one outstanding coach, and he schemes running plays as well as anybody alive.
That draw play has been very effective tonight. That's one of the staples of this Cowboys offense.
3rd and 8. Romo to Choice, made a man miss and got the first down. Missed tackle by the rookie, Captain Munnerlyn.
Well, when you play this Tampa 2, this zone coverage, you have got to be able to tackle. And that's about the third missed tackle here in the third quarter. But take a look at Tony Romo. Shotgun formation. He's going to look down the field. He's going to check it down. And there's Captain Munnerlyn. He's covered well, but you got to be able to tackle as well, especially in that cover 2.
Well, you know in that cover 2, he's out there in the flat. He's got to make that play. He whiffs, first down.
End of a quarter, dominated by the Cowboys, who lead by 3 after 3. Tashard Choice runs inside for 5.5 to the 27.5. It's a Carolina defense that has been given short fields here, but they've had 2 opportunities on this drive, John and Jaws, to get off the field and did not make a play.
And I think it starts with Julius Peppers. Ron just said it. Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator, told us last night it all goes through Julius Peppers. He has got to be dominant for everybody else to have a chance. And so far, they've frustrated him, the Cowboys have, with numerous draw plays. But this is Pepper time right here.
Second and 5, little blitz came late. Creighton first down and more. And another bad tackling job by Carolina takes Creighton to the 14.
Tony Romo starting to find his rhythm. He's reading the blitz. He's finding the open receivers. You see the pressure coming off the corner. Romo sees it. Creighton sees it. The ball comes out of Tony's hand very quickly, and Creighton's ready.
Great effort by Beeson.
Ran all the way over to clean that play up after Charles Godfrey was taken for a ride. Here's Choice to the left. Got a block from Witten, who was on Peppers. Choice, first and goal, Cowboys.
You know, when you talk about Julius Peppers, rushing the passer, you also got to play the run. And here's a case right here where Jason Witten, number 82, does a great job coming out of the backfield and hooking him. And that allows Tashard Choice to get the corner. That's why I like this Jason Witten, because he doesn't just catch passes, he blocks. And he credits a lot of that to Bill Parcells because he made him do it. Well, he was talking the other day. Parcells was on his case, man. But Witten has great pride. He works hard, and he's an outstanding blocker as well.
Quick count, run Choice up the middle to the 1-yard line. Romo held that pass fake a little bit longer that time. As Choice gets down to the 1, and we got some pushing and near fisticuffs with Thomas Davis in the middle of it for Carolina with Deion Anderson.
You know, you get down in here in the 1-yard line. Earlier in the ball game, they had a false start. Here's a case where I'm going to go to Leonard Davis and I say, hey, big fella, I'm running right behind you. I'm not going to mess around this time in a 10-7 game. I'm going to turn around, run a simple handoff play to Tashard Choice. Let's see what happens.
And run it on a quick count. You don't need to be up there spending a lot of time with everyone in their stance.
Romo, throw. Roy Williams could not pull it down. Richard Marshall with the coverage.
I'm going to say a little bit of a questionable play call. You're down here with the third biggest offensive line in football. Give them a chance to knock someone off the ball.
Once again, I just throw it out to you. I wonder if Owens would have had that. Those are the comparisons that Roy's going to hear all year.
Throw it out.
I want to see Roy Williams get up and make a decisive play in a ball game. But once again, 3rd and goal. I'd be shocked if they don't run it off the right side here.
Choice is the back. Oh, they go to throw for Martellus Bennett. Wow.
I can't figure this out.
Wow. 2 plays from the 1-yard line and 2 throws. And no, let's see, will they go for the field goal or a touchdown? They're going to go for a field goal and keep Carolina in the game.
Come on, the weakness of Carolina's defense right now is up the middle because of injuries. Take it and stick it in up the middle. They're throwing low percentage passes to tight ends, line up as a wide receiver.
Jason Garrett calling the plays, the offensive coordinator.
Well, you talk about the size advantage you have against Carolina. There would be a chance you'd want to probably take a look at that.
And remember, Kemoeatu, the fine defensive tackle for this team, was hurt in their first practice. He's the run plugger in the middle. They lost another defensive tackle in Lewis Leonard last week. They had a field goal. A team that's run for 420 yards in the last 2 weeks from the 1-yard line throws it twice. The rivalry comes up in a couple of weeks at State Fair time here in the great state. Well, no Marion Barber, who's usually the finisher. He's their Mariano Rivera, their closer. And a couple of times down by the goal line, unable to get in. Changing kickoff return man for the Panthers, Kenneth Moore. And he chooses not to take it out from a couple of yards deep. What a night of intriguing decisions. Garrett and Romo looking through the pictures, talking about their down pressure on Delhomme. He throws over the middle for Smith, who couldn't hang on. And that is the 4th possession in this half, all 4, 3 and out.
Tough catch, but Steve Smith in this situation game has to come up with this catch. Delhomme in the pocket, under duress, avoids the sack, makes a throw in a tight coverage. It hits Steve Smith, as you'll see him here. He's going to be doubled. Terence Newman running underneath, and you see the safety over the top. Tough catch, got to make it.
4 catches tonight for Steve, none of them for first downs. But the wingman for the Panthers moved. We'll have to re-kick this one.
False start. Offense, number 42. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's Tony Fiametta, rookie fullback out of Syracuse. Starting tonight for Brad Hoover. Longtime fullback who's out with a back injury.
Jake Delhomme in this offense really got to be frustrated, especially after such an impressive drive to end the first half. To come out here in the 3rd quarter and have 4 consecutive 3-and-outs. They got to really be frustrated right now.
Scoreboard on punts has not been a factor. Best kick by Baker, 56 yards. Creighton with a flag down is down at the 31.
Sam Hurd with a block in the back against the Cowboys. They'll be backed up.
This is Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. The Cowboys leading 13-7 over Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's been able to get pressure on Romo, but he's done a better job of escaping it. That's the key to Tony Romo's game. Extending the play, avoiding the rush, head downfield, finding receivers. Maybe dangerous, maybe reckless at times, but making plays.
He's without both of his regular backs. Marion Barber out all game. Felix Jones tweaking a knee in the 3rd quarter, hasn't been back. But Tashard Choice in his 2nd year out of Georgia Tech has done a good job. A gain of about 8. When we went to break, Thomas Davis, the linebacker, was hurt. Walked off under his own power. Looks like it was a cramp.
Dallas is really having success slamming the ball off of their right side. And that's an impressive 9-yard gain, a physical, well-blocked play up front.
They're starting to run those attitude plays, John. You'll get a man on a man and knock him off the ball. Big offensive line, averages 327 pounds. Some big fellas up there.
Cowboys closing in on 200 rushing yards as Choice gets the first down at the Carolina 32.
And Thomas Davis just checked back into the game. You see Julius Peppers on the sideline talking to Beeson and company last night. They realize they're smaller. They realize they're a little faster than the Cowboys. But at the end of the day, John Beeson told me we're desperate. We have to have this football game. And right now, as we approach 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter, something's got to give. Carolina has got to make something happen.
Well, their defense is hung in there, but Carolina's offense has been just terrible this 2nd half.
There's the story right there. First downs in the half, 11-0. Choice runs for 3 yards, tackled by James Anderson. Here are the numbers. Add that last first down. You have 11 Dallas first downs to none. Almost great distribution in rush and pass yards. 32 total yards for the Panthers, and all the points of the half scored by the Cowboys, who were trailing 7-0 at the break.
Yeah, that 8 yards is an embarrassment for the Carolina Panthers rushing the football. This is what they're built on. Maybe they do miss Brad Hoover but out tonight.
Romo down the middle, got Roy Williams in stride. To the Carolina 39, first down, a gain of 26.
Well, you're going to see right here an empty formation. There are no backs in the backfield. And if you can give Tony Romo this kind of pass protection in a no-back set, he will shred you. And that's good to see for the big receiver, Roy Williams. He's made a number of big catches tonight, Jaws, but the pass protection says it all right there. That's outstanding work up front by Dallas.
Yeah, that's one of the few plays we've seen tonight from the Cowboys in the passing game where the timing and rhythm has been there. At the top of the drop, Romo reads the coverage and gets the ball out on time and accurate.
4 catches coming into tonight for Williams. 4 here tonight. Choice to the right. One diagnosed by Chris Gamble, the corner.
I tell you, Thomas Davis, when you watch this weak side linebacker, number 58, Thomas Davis, his ability to recognize a counter play coming back at him, that's an outstanding play. Pursuit, tackle, that's Thomas Davis football. He's an outstanding football player.
Isn't that the position in this defense that you can shine at?
That's where Lance Briggs plays. That's where Derek Brooks played a long time. That's a position that demands production, and he's sure getting a lot out of him tonight.
Romo down the middle, incomplete. He's just trying to get rid of it as he was pressured by Beeson. Panthers are asking for intentional grounding because there was nobody in the area.
Well, Romo did an outstanding job of getting rid of the football because Beeson came in clean right up the middle. You see him right there, number 52, unblocked, and he gets a clean shot at Romo. Romo did the right thing getting rid of the football, at least keeping them in field goal range or right on the cusp.
Well, that's why it's a big flag. The official from the back came in and identified there was nobody in the area there, and that's the discussion if it was intentional grounding or not. And Tony Correnti's going to find some neutral ground. Some little Switzerland out there to have a conversation for the moment. Let's look for any eligible receivers here when Romo throws to get rid of the pressure from Beeson.
That's intentional grounding.
Yep. Yeah. And I actually believe on that one, John, there should have been a hot route there.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 9. Loss of down. 3rd down.
I believe Romo missed the read because Martellus, once he released off the line of scrimmage and he saw Beeson blitz, he looked back in the backfield. I don't believe Romo read the blitz. Then he thought later, I can just get rid of it.
I'll tell you the other thing, too. When you watch these blitzing Carolina Panthers, Dallas has struggled picking them up. And I don't know if it's because Marion Barber's not playing, but I used to make a clinic reel of Marion Barber picking up the blitz to show our backs. They miss his presence in blitz pickup. And I'm sure Tashard Choice and Felix Jones are going to learn on the run here. This is a big play in the game here.
Yeah, because instead of being at the 38 and 5 or 6 yards from field goal range, now you're back on 3rd and 18 from just near midfield. Romo's got 5 options down there. Scrambling. Arm tackled by Richard Marshall at the 40, diving forward to the 38, so your 55-yard field goal range. The prudent play here is to punt it away.
Well, the Panthers are probably holding on and get Jake Delhomme in that 2-minute drill where he is so effective because there's been nothing else except for the 2-minute drive that he had in the first half.
It's a great point, Jaws, because you kind of messed around here as Dallas. Didn't score from 2 tries at the 1,
right.
And Steve Smith's on the other side of the field. And we've seen him make big plays at the end of the game with Delhomme many times. That was the closest to the scoreboard tonight. The video board. Fair caught at the 10-yard line. 90 yards. Jake Delhomme. He likes the heat. He likes the pressure. He's got it now. His team's 0-2. Down 6. All right, here we go. Inside of 6 minutes. Panthers down 6. Delhomme from his own 10. D'Angelo Williams up the middle. 11 yards, first down. That's the first down of the half for the Panthers.
That's what you like to see. Getting the ball off your own goal line. Just a simple draw play, and D'Angelo hit it. And this gives the Carolina Panthers some breathing room, Jaws. They've been backed up inside their own 15-yard line most of the half. The Panthers have a chance.
It's not 2 minutes yet. Jake gets it going in the 2-minute drill.
Delhomme, play pass from the 22. Deep shot for Steve Smith down the field. Bumping with Terence Newman, couldn't get open. 3 guys went with him.
When I look at Steve Smith, it's frustrating up here because the Cowboys have done everything they can. Here's Newman playing inside. There's Hamlin over the top, doubling him. Here he is again, Newman inside, Hamlin over the top. There's 4 eyes and 2 bodies on number 89, Steve Smith, all night. And that is hard living if you're a wide receiver. And he's frustrated, clearly. Somebody else has to step up.
That's the bottom line. They need someone else to make a play.
2nd and 10, Delhomme threw the interception to Newman. He was going for Smith. Newman takes it, touchdown.
Steve Smith broke the route. It was a slant route. He took it in, and he moved up the field, and Newman cut underneath.
Dallas going to go for 2 up 19-7. We had a timeout, I believe, taken. I don't know what Carolina's doing, trying to get right personnel on the field. It looked like a timeout was going to be called. It was not. You see Newman right in the spot where Jake thought Steve was going to keep cutting across.
No question, yeah. I mean, he dumped on him. If you're going to come inside, you got to continue to go on that slant. You can't break it off and go to the outside. The ball's going down the quarterback's hand.
Dallas for a 14-point lead. Run Choice for 2.
And I think you got to come back and credit Wade Phillips. He put Terence Newman on Steve Smith all night. They doubled him most of the time. They frustrated him all night. And you get in a key situation. You said it coming in here, Ron. You knew Jake was going to be looking for Steve Smith. And unfortunately, it cost him a football game. Steve Smith right down here, he's going to run a slant route against Terence Newman. And I think Steve ends up flying the route because he thought Newman was going to jump inside of him. That's just Steve getting frustrated right there. Jake and he are not on the same page. But let's give this guy, number 41, a Pro Bowl cornerback, some credit. This guy steps up and makes a huge play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, you mentioned Wade Phillips. We opened up the second half talking about his football team looked uninspired, disinterested. Well, I don't know what he said at halftime, but they woke up the second half of this football game. That's something they could build on moving forward.
And their defense has done it too. Getting Carolina no momentum, a defense that had no sacks, no turnovers coming in. They have a sack tonight. They have 2 turnovers, and now they've scored. 14-point hole. Kenneth Moore doesn't take it out again. Carolina's playing defensive football here.
Wade Phillips told us we're going to get our sacks and we're going to get our turnovers. I assure you we will, because we're aggressive and we're talented. And that's just a veteran coach keeping his poise. And look what happened tonight. Terence Newman, Mike Jenkins, they get 2 big interceptions. Ratliff gets a sack. And number 94, Ware, let's take a look at him right now, because I can smell one coming.
For Newman, the touchdown's the 2nd of his career. He had one Thanksgiving Day against the Jets in '07. You saw Newman on the sideline getting oxygen, which means you'll have Skandrick and Jenkins as the cornerbacks, and Dallas has about a dozen people on the field. That doesn't work. So timeout here by the Cowboys. Well, Jake Delhomme and the interceptions continue to come up. 2 tonight. Really had the majority of the yards. I believe it was 87 of his 132 first half yards on that closing drive to end the half. Other than that, one drive, Jake Delhomme has not had a good night.
Yeah, but you know, fantasy football statistics and watching the film statistics are different. I don't know that either interception was his fault tonight.
I agree with you. The first one, Musa Muhammad had a chance to at least knock the ball down. He was gliding on the route, and clearly on the interception, Newman took back for the touchdown. Steve Smith quit in the route. He has to drive that inside. The ball was out of the quarterback's hand, but Carolina's not run the football. 62 rushing yards on the 15 carries. That's not Panther football.
No Newman on the field as Delhomme throws underneath to Musa Muhammad. A gain of 4. And obviously no huddle here the rest of the way for the Panthers in desperation mode.
And this is an area the Cowboys need to improve at. Their 2-minute defense. They don't want to give up a quick score and let Carolina back in this game.
Delhomme back to Muhammad. Back-to-back plays. Gain 15. First down at the 35.
You know, the New York Giants walked right down the field after Dallas took a lead last Sunday night. Eli Manning was razor sharp down the stretch. And he said it, John. You don't want to get him a score on the board, onside kick, and potentially tie it up.
Alan Ball is playing corner, 7th-round pick in 07 for the Cowboys with Newman out. D'Angelo Williams underneath. Good wrap-up tackle by the aforementioned Alan Ball.
Alan Ball, another young corner they have out of Illinois. Spent a little time on the practice squad. There's Newman on the sideline. Dave Campo, there's a former Cowboy head coach himself. Spending a lot of time with these corners. He's done a great job with secondaries throughout his career.
Dave was the head coach here, 2000 through 2002. And the 15-33 record as the Cowboy head coach. Back to Williams. Racing past Bobby Carpenter to get the first down at the 45. Carolina still in this game as Steve Smith is on the sideline.
That's odd in this situation.
Delhomme getting away from the pressure and the takeoff here and get 13 on the slide.
DeMarcus Ware was a whisker away from the sack. Jake Delhomme, outstanding feel in the pocket.
It's a nice chip by D'Angelo Williams. And you're right, DeMarcus does keep it alive, but Jake Delhomme still has some pretty good movement. Carolina's got to push the envelope here. They have got to get in the end zone quickly. Remember, they need a touchdown. But the clock is killing them right now.
Well, the officials wouldn't let them snap because Carolina changed personnel. Dallas has the opportunity to change personnel. Delhomme pressured and sacked. Ball comes out from around the edges. Victor Butler took him down, but they say that it's just the sack. The rookie out of Oregon State, Butler.
Victor Butler, that's another one of Wade Phillips' projects. A defensive end at Oregon State. He's making the transition to linebacker, but still is a very good nickel pass rusher.
We're right around Jeff Otoh with ease.
Right. That some quickness.
Delhomme to Jonathan Stewart, trying to get out of bounds. Turned it back in for more yards.
Got to try to get one more play off before the 2-minute drill. They're inside of 2:10 right now.
They probably won't get it off. By the time they set the ball, maybe they will.
No, couldn't get it. 2 minutes left, and it's very hard because if you're the quarterback, there is no clock in your sight line. You got to look way up toward the top. Game here, down 14 at the 2-minute mark with a couple of timeouts remaining. Cowboys have dominated play, guys. 438 yards to 263. And a couple of minutes away from 2-1 in the standings.
Steve Smith back on the field for the Panthers.
And so is Terence Newman for the Cowboys. This is 3rd and 6. And Delhomme through the hands of Musa Muhammad, and one play to keep Carolina alive here.
Well, that's a play they have to make. You know, you get the single coverage, isolation route to the outside. Jake locates Musa Muhammad. You got to make the catch, move the chains, give yourself life. Now it's 4th down.
And if they don't convert here, you have a long off week for the Panthers coming up. NFL starts the off weeks. 4 teams starting with week 4. And 0-3 would be a really long 13 days till the next game.
They have a lot of work to do.
To stay in the game, Delhomme caught by Muhammad, who stretched it. Let's see the mark. That's where the ball is, not his knee.
That'll be a first down.
Spotted at a first down.
Great effort. Sooner or later, Carolina's got to push it, Jaws. They got to push it to the end zone.
From the 34. Delhomme comes sideline. It's high and caught by Moore, but because he was hit and contacted there at the inbounds, he's ruled the clock to keep running.
I agree with you, John. They're not even running deep routes. Every route is that short to intermediate area. They've got to take a shot here.
Jake in trouble. Ball's out. Recovered by the Cowboys. Again, Victor Butler off the edge. His pressure forces the 3rd turnover. And Dallas gets win 1 in their new building.
Just nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball. 4th down, 1st down, any down. The clock has to go off. The ball has to come out of your hand. But again, it's Victor Butler, number 57, coming around the horn. 2 big sacks. You got to be able to rush the passer in the 4th quarter, and Dallas got it done tonight.
Jason Hatcher, 97, comes up with the recovery.
Cowboys may have found another pass rusher here. Victor Butler.
Wade almost lost his headset there, but that was an important win for those guys. It's 2-1 getting this one.
He got him going the second half. Must have borrowed one of Dad's old bums halftime speeches. Got him going.
Tashard Choice runs it up the middle. The Carolina Panthers are looking at 0-3 in NFL history. Only 5 teams, including one in a strike abbreviated season, have started 0-3 and made it to the playoffs. It hasn't happened since the '98 Buffalo Bills, but we've got 3 teams that were division champions last year in Miami and Tennessee, and now Carolina looking at 0-3 out of the gate, and the Panthers have the off week to try to hit the reset button.
I don't know what it is in the NFC South, but nobody can repeat as the champion. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case this year. But the thing I know about pro football, Ron, you played it a long time. Momentum is a powerful thing. Negative momentum that Carolina has caught is a powerful thing. It's hard to get rid of. And if the Cowboys can get some good mojo going, some good momentum, they can be a force.
Yeah, they didn't play their best football, but you know, sometimes you got to find a way to win when you're not playing your best. There's going to be some days you don't have the A game, but you battle, you scratch, you fight. At the end of the night, you end up with more points than your opponent. That's how the Cowboys have played tonight. They've played with that grit you talked about Jake Delhomme had.
Jerry Jones' team gets the victory, and Jerry saw his team rush for over 200 yards in this game. Second straight time they've run for 200 yards. It allows them to keep pace with the Eagles, 1 length behind the Giants, and already a head-to-head loss to the Giants. So that's essentially a game and a half with the return game between New York and Dallas in the Meadowlands. 2 straight 200-yard games. First time that's happened for the Cowboys since the Tony Dorsett era. Go back to 1979, the last time Dallas was over 200 rushing, and they do it without Marion Barber in the game here tonight.
Don't forget, Wade Phillips has got a lot of new players on his defense. A lot of new guys playing. It's going to be a work in progress, but that second half they played tonight on defense was very impressive.
And pass defense, which has been limited for them, they played very well in that department tonight.
One more snap to go. This is, by the way, everything everybody said about the stadium, absolutely true. It's phenomenal. Insert adjective here. It's unbelievable. There are two things that are going to be issues in this stadium. When you look to the right as you watch this game, there are big windows and glass doors. The sun's going to come through there in late afternoon games in the fall, and it's going to be a problem for receivers. And clocks. The game clock is in a terrible spot in this building. Very hard to see for the players in the middle of the game. They head to Denver and Kansas City the next 2 weeks, and they do it at 2-1. Tony Romo and the Cowboys get their first victory in New Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and the Panthers fall to 0-3. They lost 4 games all of last year. 21-7, the final. There's Michelle Tafoya with Tony Romo. Michelle?
All right, thanks, Mike. Really two very different halves, Tony. What happened at halftime to make you guys turn this thing around?
Well, we made some adjustments, but really we just didn't make as many mistakes. And, you know, the game is hard. They're a good defensive group, and I think we just had to stop beating ourselves. And we were moving the ball well, but we just, you know, a holding penalty, a sack because we had a mental mistake. You know, those things cost you drives, and you don't get too many of them.
You know, your buddy, tight end Jason Witten, told us this was a tough week for you. And while everyone wanted to support you, you didn't want to just keep hearing, hey, keep it up, keep it up. What has this week been like, and what does this win do for you?
Well, I think you're always frustrated and disappointed when you don't play up to what you feel like you're capable of. And that was me last week. But this game, there's a lot of adversity you got to go through at different times. And I think if you keep plugging away, keep working hard, and keep trying to get better, it'll come out the right way. And this week is all about going out and executing and just working your butt off all week and coming out here and trying to get a win. And I'm excited as can be to have it, I promise you that.
Congrats, Tony.
Thanks, Michelle.
All right, Michelle, thank you. As we mentioned, the Cowboys have a couple of NFC West trips, and that includes the Denver Broncos next week. The undefeated Denver Broncos of Josh McDaniels. Final score here, 21-7. Stuart Scott and company of the GMC
Stadium. And it was a dud, at least on the field. Still looking for their first win tonight.
Could not possibly make it 2 games in a row. Let's head down to Dallas and see what went down. The first Monday Night Football game at the new Cowboys Stadium. Cowboys and Panthers. Carolina 0-2. Tony Romo took a lot of flack in the off week, or in midweek, first play last week.
Yeah, you know what? He needed to come out and be a consistent player for this Cowboy ball club. Make good decisions. Don't turn the football over.
It's always smart handing it off to Felix Jones. 20-yard gain, and then look at that. Charles Godfrey, he might have slipped, but...
Yeah, we call that the oh my eye moment because you just lost yourself.
Later in the drive, Romo rolls left, throws complete to Roy Williams. But the Panthers defense, they get tough. 2nd and 9 for Dallas. Romo back to pass. Here comes Thomas Davis. Cowboys would not convert on 3rd down. Here comes Nick Folk. Normally, he's automatic from 40 yards out. Wide right, and the Boo Birds were out often and early in Arlington tonight. Late 2nd quarter, Jake Delhomme trying to run the 2-minute drill to Dante Rosario. 1st down. Now under 2 minutes left. 1st and 10 Panthers. Delhomme again to Rosario inside the 25. 1st and 10 now. Again, Delhomme. We've got a theme working here. Rosario up the middle. Touchdown with a nice catch. Great catch by Rosario. Wade Phillips, I guess you would call him sad after this.
Yeah, he would be a little bit disappointed that this is an opportunity for your defense to really hold right before the half, and again, it was a nice play down the seam for the touchdown.
All right, so let's move to the 3rd quarter. Dallas's first possession after the defense got a 3-and-out. Felix Jones, Q. This guy has a 2nd gear.
Yes, he does. He has a 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I'm leaving you in the wake of my dust kind of gear. He hurts his ankle on this particular play, but again, you see the explosiveness of what this Dallas offense can be with Felix Jones in there.
And he was diagnosed with a strained knee, did not return. But the Cowboys do have a luxury in that they have Tashard Choice as a 3rd string back.
Yeah, very valuable pickup for this Cowboys offense. No Marion Barber. Felix Jones goes down, and you still have a dependable guy like Tashard Choice. Excellent job of running the football and spelling relief for Felix Jones.
So that play was overturned. They had to settle for a field goal. Next drive, Patrick Creighton down to the 5. So the Cowboys setting up with 1st and goal. They had to settle for a field goal last time. Next play, it's that man Choice.
Yeah, good job of play calling right here. You go to the strength of your team, and that's running the football down the throat of the Carolina Panthers.
But here come the Panthers. Delhomme to Mushin Muhammad, and he's gone. But you might have saw the little yellow hanky there in your corner of your screen. Muhammad thinks he has a touchdown, but the referee says otherwise.
That's not a push-off. Come on.
Q, he extended both hands. Come on.
The guy, man, battling back and forth. Mike Jenkins, come on now. You know that was a clean play.
All right, spoken like a former receiver. 4th quarter. Now here's really the backbreaker right here, Q.
Yeah, this is a play where it's not Jake Delhomme's fault. That's D. Smith. You run a slant route. You stick with the slant route. You cross the DB's face. You got to continue on your way. Jake Delhomme is expecting him to be on a slant route. That was not Jake's fault. I blame that on Steve Smith.
So the Dallas Cowboys would then go for 2 and get it, and they get the win 21-7. For Terence Newman, it's his 2nd interception return for a touchdown of his career. Of the season, rather, is the 7th interception that Jake Delhomme has thrown this season. He threw 2 tonight, and the Dallas Cowboys earned the first regular.
Boom, when Jerry Jones purchased the Cowboys in the old Texas Stadium lease back in 1989, he paid $160 million for all of it. Now he's got a $1.15 billion stadium that has a 600-ton video board that's worth $40 million alone. Jones once said of this place, he said, could have been built for $850 million, but we needed to deliver the mail, close quote. Now, put that kind of bravado with Kenny Mayne's zaniness, and we really have no idea in what direction this interview is going to go.
With Jerry Jones, the boss, showing it off on Monday night. You guys play Sunday nights, Monday nights. Do you have any regular day games going on this season?
I'll tell you one thing. It's great to be able to play in this stadium and tune it in thunderstorms or tune it in sunny days, and that's part of what we bargained for.
At the same time, though, the legacy of the team is so great in where they used to play. How do you marry the two together? It's like that's the past and the greatness. Now you take that and try to go up the field that way with the new place.
I'll tell you what, Kenny, the stadium really was supposed to reflect not only the great players that have played for the Cowboys, the fans, but since I've been in the NFL in 21 years, it's about media, it's about technology. That's why it's got a futuristic aspect to it, and I hope that we got something done here, both architecturally and maybe we can win some football games in here.
Lastly, on that point, the stadium grades out quite well. How about the football team this season?
Well, we appreciate that. I can speak for all the players. It's going to motivate them to be in here and play, and I think that you'll see us clear up some of the things we had in our first game and make amends for it as we go on into the season.
Good luck to you. Thanks for having us.
You bet, Kenny.
All right.
Super Bowl 45 will be in this building in 2011. Cowboys hope that they might be there. They haven't won a postseason game since 1996. You heard the guys back in Bristol talking about Tony Romo. He can't be all that's not right with the Cowboys right now. What else do you see of him?
Well, this is for the last 5 years, or give or take, they've been underachieving to their talent. In the last couple of years, I believe they're the most talented football team in the league, and that is a serious underachievement what they've done in the playoffs. This team lacks leadership. They got rid of Terrell Owens. They thought Terrell was the reason why they couldn't grow leaders in the locker room. At some point, leadership needs to take over. You see Wade Phillips there, but really the coach is not the guy in the pros. It's the guys in the locker room, those 10 guys that rule the locker room, have moral authority to take the rest of the team by the throat and say, look, we have got to do it. When they don't win at ends of games, when they don't win at end of seasons, that's when you know that they're lacking leadership. They have the players. They've got to get the leadership.
You know, the other thing that's happened in the last 5 years is they've gotten older. And where specifically they've gotten older is up front, the offensive defensive lines. Take a look at this offensive line and on the edges. They're not the most consistent group. They're going to have to be consistent if they're going to give Romo lots of time. And that's really going to address their offensive tackles. That's the first side. On the second side, I don't think it's as big a problem, but I think it's this. They've got to get pressure. They've got to get some sacks. They don't have any sacks. They have no sacks. They have no takeaways. That all comes from up front. You don't want to be having to blitz to do it. You want to rely on your down people, and they haven't been able to get that part done. But I got to tell you this, Ditka was right. Shorten the season, Romo plays great. That was awesome.
First couple games, not so good.
Here's the thing about what Matt just said. The Cowboys don't have a sack this year. And last year, they led the league with 59 sacks. They also don't have a takeaway this season. There are 6 teams in the league that are 0-3 right now. And even all of those 6 teams, they have at least 1 sack and at least 1 takeaway. Now it's time for our final team reports. We begin with Michelle Tafoya. Michelle?
Thanks, Stuart. Well,